What's going on, everyone? It's Achilles OBT coming at you with a brand new video, and in today's video we will be showcasing what I believe to be one of the most underrated and underappreciated warriors in the game. And I'm actually thinking about, I'm not so sure I'm going to do this yet, but just in case it happens, I'm going to go ahead and mention it now. But I'm actually thinking about doing two videos with Tyreal, one showcasing a tank build and one showcasing a damage build, because there's a lot of feedback going on right now in light of the things that are about to change with this next update as of this recording. And basically the general feeling with Tyreal right now is that with all the changes being made to the game in general, Hammer should go bot. With all the changes being made to Tyreal, he no longer has a place in the game. That's what people are starting to say, and they feel like he's in need of changes right now, and that his kit is not all that well. Now, before I get into anything else on that matter, I will go ahead and mention that I did go for the regen globes at level 1, because we definitely want to have ourselves at a healthy situation health-wise. And one thing I absolutely love about Tyreal's design, whether you go for damage or whether you go for tankiness, is that his auto attack speed is actually very good for a warrior, and it's something that plays a large role in like what he's trying to do out there, essentially. The other thing I like is that his shield actually goes outward towards friendly targets as well, and that includes minions. So you're not only shielding yourself when you use his shield ability, you're actually shielding everything around you, which is also good, especially if you somewhat spec into the shield, which is a little bit of what we're doing here with this tank build. I stress a little bit, because there is going to be maybe one or two talent picks that might still seem like a little damage-like, but they're really not meant for that. So because of the Li Ming, we were actually able to do a good job of securing that kill right there. I do believe we should pick one side and go for it. Vala did do a good job up top of grabbing those seeds from the enemy team before they could go get it. But we do need to decide on one set to go for. And at level 4, I am going to be going for Amplified Healing. And again, I covered this with my Johanna video a long time ago. You don't only pick this necessarily if you have like a healer on your team. This is also very good to have on you to add on to your regen abilities. We are going to body block here for our Li Ming. And hopefully she gets away. She definitely does. I am actually going to recall here because I'm in a bad health situation. Yeah. We're going to get everything back and make our way back down to... I actually don't know... Pick one. We want bottom or do we want top? We don't want to fight the enemy team on the first one. So we're going to try and go for bottom. If the enemy team just so happens to show up here, that's a whole different story altogether. And again, you see there, whenever we use our shield, our friendly team gets the benefit of that shield as well. They're also going to be getting the benefit of all the upgrades I get from my shield as the game wears on. That's another thing worth mentioning. Let's just go ahead and make sure we get all of these. Get that regen globe. Kael'thas is going to die. I'm going to shield my teammates. Roll is going to die as well. Enemy team making some very questionable engages, but I'm all for it. I love that. As long as it's playing out in our favor. I do want this regen globe. Well, seeing as the enemy team actually finished off the top one, I could actually stay here and grab this globe as well. What we don't need is stuff like this. I'm going to make my way up to try and save this Li Ming just in case she needs it. It turns out she's okay. I'm actually going to go up top and try to soak whatever's up there. We cannot afford to be falling back on XP, that's for sure. Just going to queue up my shield here, get that regen globe, and just pick up XP. I actually like the splash range on Tyreal's Q ability. It's really used for mobility and movement and stuff like that. It does do a good amount of damage, but the major upside to that ability is being able to teleport to where the sword lands. But with that being said, I love how much range the splash has on it. You see right there, not necessarily close to Vala, like directly at her, but we were still able to do damage. I'm having trouble talking. English is a hard language right now for me. You should get out of there. Oh, that was lucky. I did not think that was going to work out like that. But because it did, we could just stay here and get this XP. Actually, we could put some pressure on these fortifications as well. There we go. And because we picked Battle Momentum at level 7, we're going to have our abilities on deck a little bit faster. Now, Battle Momentum, depending on if you watch this video and when you see it, if the game has been patched since this video has released, Battle Momentum is about to undergo a change where, well, a huge change really, where you're no longer going to be able to put your heroics on faster cooldowns because of the auto attacks. Now, Battle Momentum is actually going to function exactly the way it was meant to function to begin with. So hopefully we don't start getting a little rude here. That always leads to bad things. But yeah, so Battle Momentum is now only going to affect basic abilities. It's no longer going to affect your heroics. So in this video, Battle Momentum is going to have a large effect on how often I'm able to cast my my heroic abilities. But do not expect that to be the case moving forward after this Tuesday. Depending on when I choose to upload this video, and depending on when you choose to watch it, really. So we're actually competitive on XP, which is great. That's exactly what we need. I'm gonna make my way back down to the mid lane here, pick up another globe, scare off the Johanna a little bit. I'm not trying to kill her. And the idea with this build is definitely not to necessarily deal out a hardcore amount of damage, but you just want to be around for team fights and make yourself viable for your teammates to make plays more than anything. Especially when you get that the upgrades to the shield that I'm planning to go for in this gameplay. Oh god! Time to leave. That's one thing you cannot hesitate to do as a Tyreal. You cannot hesitate to use his smite ability just for a speed boost. Comes in very, very handy. Not to mention your teammates also benefit from that. Tyreal is very, very, very good at buffing his teammates. That's a very, very large part of playing as him, is knowing when to use your abilities to actually improve the effectiveness of your team. Not so much yourself. I'm gonna head down. I don't think we should do this. What's going on down here? I don't know why we were fighting right here, honestly. I'm just going to try and do this to try and save the Li Ming. Fortunately, I failed in doing so. Oh, no, I didn't. I thought she was dead. Maybe she's about to be dead, though. Yep, definitely about to be dead. So, there was no need to fight right there, but we chose to anyway. Yeah, I don't... Somebody needs to grab that. And I don't want to go after a plant by myself necessarily, because that's just going to leave me open for a gank opportunity from the enemy team, which you're already starting to see by the Johanna showing up mid lane. But now that both plants are doing their plant things, I could actually afford to move in and try and grab some of these. And again, you see the attack speed on Tyreal is very, very, very good. It's actually surprising how good that is for the fact that he's a warrior. Oh god, this is about to go bad. My man is in a bad situation, so I'm probably going to die here. Definitely going to die. And it queues up the most useless ability in the entire game. I say that because it never gets a kill, or rarely gets a kill. Like, you have to be extremely fortunate with your positioning and your timing to get a kill with Tyreal's trait. And it's not because it doesn't do any damage. That's the funny part. It's just that it's so slow and it takes so long to really, really do its job that it makes it one of the easiest things in the world for opponents to dodge. So, here lately, the momentum has actually been swinging in the enemy team's favor. Definitely something we have to work on. Hopefully we don't lose Vala there. And oh man, I don't want to go up here and fight. I do not want to go up here and fight, but I have no choice. The reason why I say I have no choice is because essentially if I don't, my team is going to be wondering like what I'm doing out here, and that's the last thing I want to do. Thankfully, though, we picked up the same amount of kills that the enemy team did, so there was that. So, at level 13, we are going to be going for Angelic Absorption. This is where the shield build really starts to come in handy. Basically, whenever the shield is active, every auto attack I land actually gives me a portion of my health back. And then when we tack on the 16 upgrade on top of that, where we make the shield better... Oh, God. Disengage, disengage, disengage. I can get out, I can get out, I can get out. Actually, now we can fight this. I don't know how we pulled that off, but that was good. Ah, there we go. It's because the Abathur cloned me. That makes a lot of sense. Don't think chasing Murky is ideal right now. And look at that, Johnny on the spot. We got another globe. And we lost to Li Ming again. How the fuck did that happen? I don't know what's going on right now. Let me give Vala a small shield there. Not worried about getting killed just yet. Our health is still really high. Kael'thas is getting ballsy. I do get caught by the polymorph there. No big deal. Nothing to follow up on. Another polymorph goes down. It is going to do a good job of zoning me, as well as that Murky ability right there. Oh, man. Oh, Thrall, no. No need to chase, no need to chase, no need to chase, no need to chase. I feel like a lot of the kills that are going down against our team are a result of our players chasing. And I just really hope I'm wrong about that. It's also worth noting that I have yet to be able to have the opportunity to actually use my heroic for the purpose it's meant for to be used for. Again, we're still not worried about that at all. Back away. Man. Back away. You have no health. Holy hell, so what? If they get the fort, it's okay. Just don't die. Man, I've seen so many cases where there are clear-cut scenarios where my teammates should run away, and for whatever reason, they just keep turning around and inviting, like, bad shit to happen to them. And then they spam the chat. Granted, it's not the case this time, but typically they'll spam the chat, like, with nonsense, saying that other people are not doing their jobs. And I can't save anybody right here. Oh, thank God that was a clone. And the regen globes are definitely doing their job, because it's worth noting that I was actually back to full health before that actually happened, and I didn't even notice that I healed all the way back up. And we're out soaking the enemy Johanna at the moment, so there's also that. But the plays are not being made right now. Like, there's just a lot of questionable decisions being made. And it wasn't the case early on, so I'm, like, not sure where this is coming from. And, okay, I'm glad Li Ming did not elect to fight right there, because, again, there is no need for it. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong. That's something that I should put out there on this video for anybody that may be watching. There is absolutely nothing wrong with winning a game by sticking to the objective. A lot of people feel like you need to, like, you know, quote unquote establish dominance and, like, just really like impose your will on the enemy team, and it's really not the case at all. Yeah, we got a kill. Please help her. Come on, Abathur, you got it. That's one way to do it. So, everybody's dead. And the enemy team does have a Terror currently roaming on the bottom lane. Hopefully that doesn't get too much work done. You see our respawns right now are at a very, very bad place. There are just a lot of fights that we're currently engaging in that we don't need to engage in. There's nothing wrong with, like, biding your time, playing the objective, getting XP, going for camps. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, but I seem to have a team that really, really seems hell-bent on starting fights everywhere. And the worst part about it is that they're starting fights without proper support. And then they get upset when they get killed. And it's like, you don't have to fight all the time. You should never go into every single game with the same exact strategy. Some games are just absolute, like, slugfest like that, where you should be fighting all the time. But this is clearly not one of those kind of games. And my team so far does not seem to notice that. And I'm just, like, crowd controlled like crazy right there. I'm just going to shield myself and back away. Look at that. Vala doing work. Thankfully, we were able to survive that. And look at that. Look at my health situation right now. So at level 20, I am going to be going for Holy Arena to add another second onto this heroic that I still have yet to properly use. What are you complaining about now? I don't understand this guy. Like, I'm actually like, I'm legit like mind blown right now. Like, I don't know what anybody did wrong here. Like, we got the wipe, we're getting camps, so what's the problem? If anything, I don't think the hammer needs to be pressed up that far up, especially when the enemy team is actually spawned up. She needs to back away. Please, back away. What's nice about this is that I'm actually getting even more globes to add on to my regen just by hitting all these camps. And if this was the updated version of the game, I would have hit 30 globes, and that would have been the end of my quest right there. Worth noting, I'm not one of the players that's against them adding a cap limit to the grind quests, if you will. I think it's just fine that they have a limit on a Season Marksman and Conjurer's Pursuit and Regen Master. I think it's cool. I don't have a problem with it at all. But there are players out there who think it's stupid, and they're not a fan of it. All right, I'm gonna be the one to grab it because I'm the tank. Please don't. Just don't. I am gonna go mid. I'm gonna tell my teammates that I'm on my way. God, could you imagine a regular hero having this much health? It'd be so broken. You know what I would say? That's the amount of health that Sonya needs to have. Not serious, obviously. Nice, and we start the whole fray with both terrors hitting each other. I'm gonna put this right here to kind of try and force the enemy team to actually bait themselves into a corner, which it looks like is exactly what they're doing. But I am gonna lose the plant. I'm not sure if we were all attacking right there. I feel like if we were all attacking, somebody would have died because we have a Vala, we have a Hammer, and we have a Li Ming. So I'm inclined to believe that we weren't all attacking right there. Those are three hardcore damage dealers, and nobody died on the enemy team. And they don't have a support. So that's the other thing. Oh man, I'm in such a bad place. And wow, I got knocked into the polymorph after the fact. And it's funny, the enemy team is actually trying to focus me, and it's getting them killed. There we go. I'm just going to get out of her way. Let her do her Li Ming things. There we go. Good plays. I feel like we should have grabbed this camp first, but yeah, the keep there is definitely weak. Worth mentioning that this is being played right now. I'm playing as the only tank on the team, and it's also a popular thought that Tyreal is not good for solo tanking. Not saying that this is proof that he is, but if nothing else, this is proof that he's not terrible. We don't have enough numbers. We should grab camps. Get the camps instead. They'll do it for us. We took at least one of theirs, so that's always a good sign. That's one less option they have, and we took down one of their keeps. We have 3 keeps at full health. We took momentum back, so we need to keep this. Oh, shit. Missed an opportunity there. I'm actually going to grab these seeds right here. You take those. As long as I can steal one. I'm okay. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. Thrall's going to be late on this. He may try to sunder me, but that wouldn't be too wise. Who did we just lose? Apather? I'm going here. I'll let my teammates know where I'm going. Don't die. Just don't die. Don't die. I'm going to come right to you guys. And this game is lasting a while. Now we have even more health in this Terror than we did the last time, obviously, because we're at a later stage in the game. Nice play by Li Ming. I'm on my way over. I suppose we could end the game, actually. Just going to walk past this. And I'm going to walk past that. And maybe we end the game. Man, I was stunned for a long-ass time right there. Holy shit. This is going to be game. So, hopefully you enjoyed that video. A little more objective showcase there than I would have wanted, but that's a hazard of the map being played. No big deal. Nothing we can do about that. But the bottom line is Tyreal is still very, very, very good. This is before the patch that's about to be on the way. As far as I know, the only thing that's being changed on Tyreal is a sidebar, a side effect change, meaning Regeneration Master. Now Regeneration Master is going to have a limit of 30 globes, and once you hit 30 globes, I believe they give you a certain amount of health increase to your health pool. So that's really the only change being made to Tyreal. So there is no reason to think that he is not a good hero all of a sudden. You see, we were definitely able to stay competitive with the enemy team's Johanna, with the exception of siege damage, which maybe for all we know she was using the Terror plant, because I definitely felt like she was with her team for most of the game, so it wasn't that she wasn't around doing the YOLO thing. She was definitely with the team, so I'm just inclined to believe that she just used the plant the whole game and did a way better job than I did, which is not hard because I'm not the greatest plant user in the world. But as you can see, we were competitive in damage soaked. We were competitive in damage dealt. And obviously, we did a better job of staying alive than the enemy teams, Johanna. And it's worth mentioning, neither team had a support. Yes, you could say that Abathur has healing on him, but he is not a dedicated support, so it's not the same thing. Abathur is good for like a last-ditch effort to keep you alive from like a poison effect or something like that. He'll give you a little bit of health, and you'll be able to run away afterwards, which is still very, very good, but it's not the same thing as dedicated healing. As I mentioned before, with the questionable decisions, you see the two damage dealers up here. Both had 7 deaths apiece. Probably like half of those could have been avoided, but it is what it is. It did not cost us the game, thankfully, so we were still able to win. Just to review the build one last time and why I picked what I picked on my version of a tank build for Tyreal. At level 1, I went for Regen Master. Again, this is about to change to a limit of 30 globes tops, and then you get, I think the number is 600 additional health. I think it's 600, but please don't quote me on that. At level 4, I go for Amplified Healing. This increases the regeneration effects and all healing received by 30%. Again, people see all healing received and think this is only something worth picking when you have a support. It is definitely not the case. It also increases your regen effects. You have to pay attention to the first end of that, because any ability, any part of your kit that involves regeneration gets buffed by 30% when you pick this at level 4. So that's something that's very, very, very good, regardless of whether or not you have a support or not. At level 7, I go for battle momentum so that I can spam off my abilities a little bit more. At level 10, because basically the idea behind Tyreal is that you want to be auto-attacking while queuing up your shield. It's the best way to get the most value out of your shields. So Battle Momentum does a good job of helping you with that. You can pull up your shields more often. At level 10, I went for Sanctification. This is a very, very, very good heroic that I did not do a good job of showcasing at all. Mainly because the team fights in this game were not very well executed. So there's really nothing I can say about showcasing this the right way. But this is basically like having Uther's D shield, but for the entire team in one small area. At level 13, this is where we start to spec into the shield a bit more. Angelic Absorption, enemies that attack you while shielded grant 138 health over 3 seconds. So basically, the damage you're taking is actually giving you health back. And if it's a bigger shield, you're getting more health. And speaking of bigger shields, Salvation gets tacked on at level 16, where your shield is 25% stronger for each allied hero that gets shielded. And again, with Tyreal, you're going to find yourself in the middle of a lot of brawls. You're going to find yourself in the middle of your teammates quite often. So this definitely gets value out of whatever you're trying to do with it. And then at level 20, I tacked on Holy Arena, which increases the duration of Sanctification by 1 second and increases the damage of allies by 25%. So it not only does it make them invulnerable, but it makes them stronger. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, Tyreal is definitely one of the most underrated heroes in the game, maybe the most underrated warrior in the game, because I really can't think of anyone else that's really getting no kind of attention, no love whatsoever. People think that he's done, that he needs a change, he needs a rework. I can't say Arthas anymore because he's about to get changed on Tuesday, so he's out. He's off the hot seat for now. Now it's Tyreal. Now people feel like Tyreal's the one who's getting the shaft and that he's the one who needs a rework. He needs some changes. But the way he currently is now, he is still very good. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do a damage build video, a damage version of Tyreal after this, but just in case I do, you heard it here first. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, I appreciate the support. This is Achilles LBT. As always, that's Achilles with the Z. Remember it.